Hello guys, welcome back to our channel again. So in this video we'll discuss the 13th question of August Leetcode challenge. So our question is iterator for the combination. Now what we have to do, we have to construct a data type or a iterator that just return one thing on next or has next. On that thing also you have to return something. So on has next you have to return that the next combination is possible or not. In the next it is just going to return the combination, and the construct or the main function will construct the combinations or will initialize the constructor or whatever we say iterator and that all. Now what all type of combination we have to store, that is the main thing. So in this case we have to store the combinations according to length. In this case suppose we have to store the combination according to this 2. Now how many combinations are possible? A, B, C. So this is our string. So the length of 2 combination, first combination will be AB, second will be AC, third will be BC. So these 3 combinations will be there. Now whenever I return a next, then we have to print first this. Second time when I will call next, we have to return this. Third time if I call next, then I have to return this. And if fourth time we have to return next, then we have to return nothing. And if we call has next after this, then we have to return false, or before this anywhere we have to just return simple true. So this is a thing in the question what we have to do. So this is a very not very tough but a medium question. So let's see that what we have to do in this question properly. Now let's first consider a string. Let's consider this as a string, and we have to return a character, or sorry, a combination of 3. Now what all combination can be there? First of all, so for that in this case we will use some other method. Now we have to return the size of 3. So for that, first of all let's check that this is sorted or not. So this is not sorted according to me. This should be A I empty. So this is the sorted order in which we have to return our answer. So our string will be initially sorted. So let's change our string and consider it to be AI empty. So this is the string which we want to consider. Now let's find the combination with the help of second method which I am going to solve in this question, which is just keep tracking with the help of numbers. So first of all we will initialize two vectors of size this. So let's consider 2 vectors, initialize all its value as 0, 0, 0 and 0. Now initially I will initialize all the values of this. Let's consider this to be A and this to be B. So initially I will initialize all the values of A in increasing order. So first this A will be 1 and 2, and this B we will reverse order, we will consider it in reverse order. What we will do, we will just take the values from reverse. So 3, 2, 1, 3, 2 and 1. So this is how we will consider these both. Now this is A and this is B. Now if you have if you want to try this question, I have given you a hint. We have to consider these both vectors. With the help of this A we have to take the characters, and with the help of this B we have to validate it. Now if you want to try this question, pause the video here and try it. Now let's solve the question. So this is the initial answer. So whenever first time answer will be called or next will be called, this will be printed. This will not be printed. With the help of this reference, some value will be printed. So 0th index, first index and second index will be printed. So what will be our value? A, I and M. Now next time what I have to print? This is 0, 1, 2. Now this time what we will do? We will just check, or we will just increment the last value, which is here 3. So I have incremented here 3. So what now our value will be? A, I and T. Now this can't be increased, so we'll try to increase it. So this is 0, 2. Now here a big question comes, that what will be here. So here we will consider it to be 1. Now this 1 became, so now what will be our string? Our string will be A, second value M, and then I. Now the fourth value, now this 2 is there, so we'll increment this 2, but we can't increment this 2, so we have to increment to this 3. So what will be our next value? A, M and T. So you got one thing, that with the help of this we will print the characters. Now what will be our last value? First of all, 1 will come here, 2 will come here, sorry, 2 will not come here, here 0 will be there, and here 1 will be there. After that 1 and 0, sorry, I have misplaced something. Here 1 should not be there, here 2 should be there. Now 1, 0 and 3. After this 1, 2, 0. After this 1, 2 and 3. After that this is our string, which is our final string, which we will consider as our final. Now after this, if you want to consider, we have one more string, which is 1, 3, 0 and 1, 3 and 2. So this is the last string. So now let's go into the question and let's check that the thing which we are doing, or the part which we are trying to solve, is correct or not. Now let's say the nomination should be in lexicographic order. Now I have done some mistake. This should be in lexicographic order, what it is, but we have to return this in correct order. Means this smaller numbers cannot come in front of bigger numbers. What I'm trying to say is, here the what in which question it is. So in this M is coming first and I is coming it's afterwards. So we cannot consider this as our string, because we have to return it in sorted order. So that's why we will not consider it. So our what will be final answer in this case? Our answer will be this. So we will assign this as our final value. So whenever we iterate, we will consider this as our final value. Now our works becomes more simpler. So suppose first string will be 1, sorry, first string will be 0, 1 and 2. After this 0, 1, 3. After this 1, okay, 2 and 3. So any other possible if combination 1. So these 3 strings will be there in this case, and this will be our last string. So this is the question in which we have to do this simple thing, but I think I have misplaced, means one more combination it is there. It is 0, 2 and 3. Now it is correct. So there should be 4 combinations. So we have printed all the 4 combinations of the string with length 4 and combination with 3. So till now I have just explained you 2 things. First, with the help of A and B, how we will print. Now other things will be clear easily with the help of the code. So now let's see our code. So first of all, let's check the combination, that how we are initializing this main function. So first of all, as I've told you, I have initialized some global variables a, b, stop, and string s and n. Now string s will store the whole string, n will store the length, stop will store that this last iterator, that this is currently true or false, and a and b, I have told you that what these two things will be doing. Now n I have initialized, m for initializing b we will use this m. Now b I have resized. I do not want to resize, because with the help of m place back it will easily be done. Now this what we trying to say it, stop I -1. So initially I have done it as -1 only, because if none of the string exists, then this will be turned to be what we say, this will not turn to be true and will get false as our answer, and we will directly return our solution. This we will look that what will be the significance of stop -1, but in most of the cases it will be stop equals to 0. Now what I'm trying to do, first of all, I have initialized a with all the values from 0 to n, and I have pushed back or in place back it. Now after that I have initialized b with the help of n and m. Now if n is equals to m, then we have to return stop equals to 0. In this will not be true in one condition only. So when this will be false, so when any of this string character or this is 0 and sum of the thing is greater, means the length is 0 and character is 5, then this condition will be false and nothing will be printed. In that case something will happen again. So now let's not focus more on the stop, let's focus in correct test cases. So now let's check that what will be the next step. Now this is the combination iterator. In this, what I have told you initially, I have initialized all the values. Now first of all, check that value, the stop. Now if stop is equals to n-1, then it will be equals to false, else we will return true. Now when this will be n-1, when it will be on the last node. So this thing also we will do in this next, and this is also very easy, so that's why I have explained you this before. Now let's check our main code, which is in the next. So let's see our code. First of all, I've initialized a string t which will store the answer. Now as I have told you that a will store the current string, so I have directly returned this, or I have directly inserted the values in the t, and at the end I have returned the t also. So this is not a big deal, but to predict the next combination in previously, that is the big thing. So we'll solve this thing first. So if then we will initialize the I for this for loop. Now you cannot initialize it here. Why? Because I am using this I here also to initialize some of the values. So that's why you cannot use I here inside this, or you cannot initialize I here. That's why I have initialized I here. Now after that I have declared a variable bc as what we say, as a flag, so that if last value is there, then stop will be called. Now whenever some value will be printed, now b, suppose for our example b will be 1, 2 and 3, and we have some value 0, 1 or 1, 2. Now one value I have iterated. Now you can check that this is iterating in reverse direction. Now stop will be used here, -1 and 0, it will be a big difference. That's why stop should be 0 to solve our question properly. Now this thing we will do, this is our current state and this is our final state. Now what should be next step, we can find easily with the help of this. Now what we will do, we will compare these both. Now if these both, this thing and this, if these are equal, we does not require to do anything. If this is greater than this, it is not possible, and if less than this, then we will directly increment it. Now what I'll do, 0, 1 and 3. So this is our string till now. Now what we'll check, that I is equals to stop plus 1 or not. So till now stop is 0, so this thing will not be true in this case. And second thing also, we have to compare that ai is equals to bii or not. So this condition is true, but I is not equals to stop plus 1, so that's why this condition will not be true and it will be breaked. If it is true, then also we will break. But stop minus 1, stop equals to I will be used somewhere. I'll told you that also. Now break, after break we will check that BC is true or not. If it is true, then it will not enter, else it will enter because I have used the not. So this is true in this case. Now after this for loop will be of no use in this condition, but when in middle some values will be incremented, then it will be in use. Now what I will tell that when this will be used. Now when next time this next is called, so this will be our value. Now I want to increment some value. So 3 cannot be incremented because this is equal, so this 2 will be incremented. Sorry, this 1 will be incremented to some value. So 0, 2 and here 3. Okay, now in this case here it is 3 only, but if some big string was there, suppose here big string there 5, 6 and here 8, not 8, let's just change it, here 4, here 5 and here 6. So now let's check this, that this is a string and here 6 is there and here 0 and 1 is there, 0, 1, 6 is there. Now what should be the next value? According to our current state, the value will be 1, 2 and 6, but this should not be 6, this should be 3. So this thing is done with the help of this loop. So I will be used here, I will be currently pointing this, then when I have done I plus 1, so this will point this and it will initialize to this index plus 1, so this will be turned into 3. So these all things done easily. Now this is the solution for the 13th question of August Leetcode challenge. So this is a medium question. So if you want more such solutions, subscribe my channel, like the video, share the videos and comment down if you do not got anything in the question. So thank you guys.